Happy New Year and welcome back to Fighters Drinking Coffee. This is our first episode of the year, and so it's only fitting that we begin by setting some New Year's resolutions. So Scott, lead us off. I'm gonna put you on the spot first.
Yeah, you are. That's fine. That's fine. Happy New Year's, Michael.
Happy New Year's. Yeah, so we're talking specifically Jiu-Jitsu resolutions.
Works for me.
We don't need to, get too much into like other shit. I don't know. We can also later.
Well,
let's start with our resolutions for our
dip our toes in all
Jiu-Jitsu.
kinds of shit, and then for Jiu-Jitsu.
Let's start with our resolutions for our Jiu-Jitsu. We'll also talk about some Jiu-Jitsu, our podcast resolutions as well. So, but yeah, I mean, go ahead. What is your resolution? I mean, you have plenty of things for which to.
That's right.
Resolute.
I'm going to resolve things.
Resolute.
Many things will be resolved. That is my commitment. Dude, let's see. Okay, so Jiu-Jitsu resolutions. I can take this in a couple different directions, but I guess let me start higher level, then we can get like tactical. Okay, so higher level. When you were asking me about this, you're like, do one. I'm like, I'll do 2 or 3, Mike.
That's fine.
But I always like to go higher level and then kind of like work my way down. But with that said, for me, I think the word is professionalism. I want to step that up. I've tried to do that every year, a little bit more for a while now. And then I can pull that in. That will apply to many tiers within my life too, which is why I want to start with it. That's why I say that, because maybe it trickles into other realms. We'll keep this oriented around jiu-jitsu, of course, but professionalism only helps in other things that I'm doing. So, with that said, as it relates to jiu-jitsu and the practice of jiu-jitsu and teaching people jiu-jitsu and competing in jiu-jitsu, I'll start. I guess as a coach, I want to become even more professional in that realm, do a better job, think more about what, like we've talked about on the show, like what can I provide for my students, my paying customers, that helps them improve and resonate with the practice of jiu-jitsu more and more, so they find that excitement and commitment to training, like we have, and like a lot of other people we work with have, more quickly and more resolutely. And so with that said, I guess to be a little specific there, it's like we've talked about, like what can I provide for my guys that helps them learn and or accomplish things faster than I learned to accomplish things. So I'll continue to ponder on that and improve in what I do and provide a better product and service for my guys. Professionalism as it relates to the practicing of jiu-jitsu too. Like what can I be doing more and differently? I have some specifics there, which I can get into, or we can just kind of, in the interest of time, I'll allude to it, but, competing and training, how can I step up my professionalism in both realms? As I guess that's my practice of jiu-jitsu. Like how do I take what I do, the time I'm on the mat, and make it a little more purposeful, a little bit more high value. Whoa. And, like I said, my goal, my aim for that word professionalism is to make that something that I can apply to everything that I do. So, you're going to have to let it rest.
I'd like to put an impromptu resolution to have booms that stay up.
Boom. Yeah. My boomer is hanging real low.
Yeah. This is frustrating.
Your boom hangs low. That's whatever. Your boom hangs good. Mine's hanging low. But yeah, dude. So you continue with that professionalism thread. I want to be a more professional coach. I want to be a more professional student. I want to make learning more of a practice. When you coach all the time, learning sometimes that doesn't help you. It doesn't. You don't learn from that. Whatever, man. But
it's just gonna have to be here.
It's down there. It's fine. I mean, the mine's down there.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone can hear me. You can hear me. So that's what matters. But
we can hear you. Good. I might just pick mine up when I go to talk.
Yeah, do that. Whatever. Yeah. Boom. We're going to get more professional booms. We're going to professionalize the booms. So, and then finally, as I compete, and I'm going to compete, and we can talk about that in a minute or now or whatever too. As I continue to step up and try to get better outcomes in the competition scene, I want to do that more professionally as well. So, a lot of work has already gone into that. So I'll continue doing what has been working, try to get rid of what's not working, and add in a few new things that, fingers crossed, will work too. And push me to a higher level, like I said, and everything. So professionalism is a word for that. Tactically, I want to. There's two major things. Without giving away to the enemies listening, there's a few new weapons that I am going to work in earnest on in 2026 to add into my arsenal. So you're just a noisy guy, dude.
Sorry.
That's okay. That I want to add in to diversify my offense and just become more threatening when I'm on the mat, so that my offense is a little bit more, literally diversified, but also with that said, I'll be able to be a bit more unpredictable to my opponents. Attack them from other positions, right? Which can only provide more value insofar as what I do. Talked about this with the seam too. There's some additional explosivity and power and finishing mechanics I'm going to add in like longer tournaments. I think I talked about this in our last episode a little bit, but reflecting on Worlds, and that was a bigger bracket. Like in those longer, more, I don't know, endurance, is that the word? In like the where endurance and longer campaigns for a gold medal are presented towards me, I want to be able to keep that dangerous finishing mechanics the entire time.
Well, I know we talked about it after you were done competing, about like how that last match, like you felt drained. And so like that, I understand what you're saying. Like just I'm translating from what our discussion was versus how much they might have gleaned from it in the last episode, but maybe the episode before. But yeah, like I remember you were talking about how you were feeling a little drained in the last match, and like didn't quite have the same almost mental sharpness that you were feeling in the matches prior to that too. So especially when you had 5, or was it 5 or 6 for gold?
It was 5 for gold.
5 to get to finals, right? Or 5 with the finals. So I mean, like it's a long day.
It's a long day. And the fourth one, the finishing mechanics were just a little bit off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What will you be doing?
It's similar. I mean, I'll break it up similarly. You've set a standard here. So I from a professional and like coaching standpoint, I want to. It kind of falls under professionalism, but it just to be more specific with it for what I'm trying to get across. I want to get better at, because one, coaching at 5:30 in the morning, sometimes I'm a little foggy. So I want to get better at articulating at 5:30 specifically, like that's early. But I want to get better at like articulating what I'm trying to get across, because sometimes I have trouble when I'm explaining techniques, like explaining in a way that makes sense broadly versus what makes sense to me, because that's just a different thing, right?
Still like, waking up at 5:30 is what you're saying?
No, not completely, but like sometimes like brain's not always fully clocked.
I think it's reasonable. I think anyone listening would be like, yeah, duh. So that makes sense.
But I want to get better at being, I guess there's kind of like a thoroughness to it, or like maybe there's a level of preparedness for what I'm going to teach that I could probably do better with, to where I already know how I'm going to explain it the first time, right? Versus like being more proactive with how I'm instructing versus reacting to the problems people are having. Does that kind of come across?
It does.
Like, so it falls under the same vein of like being more professional with it, but like I have a good understanding of what I'm going to teach, but sometimes I just don't explain it in a way that makes sense to most people, because the way that I learned was a lot of through feel and just kind of doing things. I mean, both of us were in the same situation. We kind of had to figure a lot of stuff out as we were going, because we were kind of running the show for a bit there. So a lot of my initial like discovery of jiu-jitsu was literally discovery. So it's hard for me to explain to people that learn more through like seeing it and everything, because that's not how I learn. So I have to figure out how to explain a lot of different moves versus, oh, well, you just kind of do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and sometimes it works because I'm able to break it down slowly with my movements and like show what I'm doing, but sometimes it's not as good like with the verbalization because I'm trying to teach it the way that I learn, which is a lot more hands-on and kind of doing it. So, doing, feeling, all of that. So I want to get better at articulating to more a broader group of people and learning styles so that I'm just being a better coach and a better instructor, a better teacher for the people that I am teaching. So that is mine from the coaching aspect. From the competition aspect, I want to perform better as in up to the standard that I perform not in competition. Because I've found, and we talked about this earlier today when we were training, but I found that like I tend to run into underperforming at competition, win or lose, honestly, sometimes. Like sometimes I've won and I probably could have competed better, right? Like, but performing the way that I practice, essentially, like the level of like how in control I feel when I'm practicing and all of that is way higher than I feel some matches. Like so there's matches I definitely like, oh, I'm in control. But I'd like to leave less of it or leave more of it on the mat.
It makes sense.
That might be the way to verbalize is like, actually perform to the standard and the capability that I have. Cause I definitely have, especially like the big ones, right? That was the majors and everything. Like I definitely didn't perform to the ability that I do have. And I'd like to rectify that. I think that makes a huge difference. You don't feel as bad about losses and you feel better about your wins. So like everything kind of, I think that also will help from that will also make a difference with just overall, just for how I go about all of it. Like just show up and do the thing, makes all of them easier. But it just comes with time too. This is the first year back, but
that's right.
I want to perform to the best of my ability every single time, not just sometimes. And I've kind of thought of a few different ways of doing it. I think one is just being, getting like the mental standpoint, the mental aspect of it reined in and figuring out what mindset makes the most sense going into it. Like, is there anything that I need to, hey, maybe I need to look at less. I mean, not look less at tape, but maybe there's things I need to be less like reliant on it. Like, hey, don't expect them to do what they did on tape. Cause I mean, that was a thing at Worlds. I thought the guy was in pull guard. He does a pull guard. It changes everything. Right. So, there's a lot of tactical stuff to probably adjust and figure out what is the best case scenario moving forward for just to create that blanket, right? Like we're going to do this every single time. But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a big part of it. I think removing expectation helps. So yeah, I mean, that's the big one. It's just like perform to the ability that I have rather than not doing what I can do. Right. Like, I think that's my big one. So basically increasing my competition performance by just going through the mental roads, going through, and just, getting rid of whatever those roadblocks are that are keeping me from performing the way that I know that I can. So, so yeah, I mean, it's very similar to what you're saying. I'm just trying to say it in a different way. So
yeah.
I'm
not, Do you think, well, I think, but maybe we can do this. Like, how will we do these things? So I would think with what you just talked about, continuing just to stay very active competitively will help with that. 'Cause just more exposure, more comfort in that environment. Once it starts to normalize, then you just feel normal. Then you just perform like normal. Like you said, I think what I'm hearing is you're like, I want to be as comfortable and effective as I am on the mat in training, where you're like, yeah, I feel good. I'm confident. Like I know how good I am. And then bringing that to the stage, so to speak, which obviously is a different environment. I think just making that stage normal, making that a normal experience to you, which you did a lot. You've normalized a lot in a year. And it will only continue to happen as you do it more and more and more. So we've already talked about this, but, off the air, maybe on the air too. I don't know, but,
probably a little bit of both.
When's that next tournament, right? Like, are we doing that March?
Yeah.
Dallas. We're doing Dallas. Hey, perfect. Let's go out and let's set the next date. Cause it's funny. Like, I've run into a couple buddies. I was training with Knack, the last couple of days, and several of his guys who know me, and I ran into a friend at the gym today, and everyone is asking me like, all right, so when's the next tournament? And I'm like, all right, I like you guys. Like, you got it. There's always another one, right? So I think that's a good practice. I think it's like let's not be idle. Not that we are, but let's set that next milestone. Let's just keep the show running, man.
Yeah, I mean, I already I'll show you after the show, but I already have I have a whole thing set up for this.
I like that. Because we're talking goals, people. We're talking goals. We're talking resolutions, but goals are always right there with the resolutions.
So one of the things I've done to help with this is I've actually built and I'll actually share it with you because you might be able to use it because it's partially for a scene, but it's also for me. So I have built like a calendar that has each month broken up into weeks.
There we go.
And then on those weeks, so I have it the weeks part is a little weird because it's not exactly how I'd like to, but I didn't feel like going and putting every single day because it was just going to take way too long to build.
365 of them.
It would have been a lot of cells to fill.
Weeks is good.
Yeah. So I set it this week. So we have there's roughly 5 including, either full or partial weeks included, but it's basically 5 sections to each month. Each one is broken down so that I have the ability to basically put like a competition. So I think I have it going Monday to Sunday each week so that you can set each week to a tournament, right? Because they're usually Saturday, Sunday. So I have it running Monday to Sunday for each week so that I can I can set which tournaments are where, when I'm going to be doing them. I also have a section for what training cycles will be so that I can have all of that worked out and basically can map everything towards these specific ones with the concept of at the end of the year. And I have places to put results, all of that. So I can look at the end of the year, go back and look what worked, right? Mm-hmm. Like, all right, well, we did this was the training cycle with a seam. This was the training cycle I did with, how I prepared for the competition. Here was the result. I can have, I have notes, I have places to put all kinds of different information. So like if I have days off or, like planned days off, like I have a wedding this day or I have, whatever that might be.
Yeah. Shit happens.
Fill it in.
So, shit happens.
Or, like you get injured.
Shit happens. Yeah.
Like whatever. I have places I can put all of that in so that at the end of the year, I have a way to look back at it and set goals. But at the same time, I can also use it as a way to like track what I have coming up and set the goals of like, well, obviously the goal is win or podium at each one of these things, bring back hardware.
That's right.
But so basically it'll let me build everything around because it was a little haphazard this year. I was just picking up whatever I could. Mm-hmm. But for this or for next year, or this year that we're listening to this, tomorrow, but so it is set up so that I can actually plan towards the majors because we know roughly when they're going to be. So everything's be building towards specific times to like have to peak and have like the best performance. So everything is kind of building towards those. So yeah, that's
just planning. What you're hearing, people, is it's called laying plans in the art of war.
Yeah. So
scheming and he's laying his plans. That's
fucking think. But so I'm gonna go handheld because this is bugging me. But so I've built like a whole way for me to track it, and just so that at the end of the year it's easier to keep track. Because I mean, with how busy I was this year in terms of competition schedule, it was a little tough when we did that year in review. Which actually, off the top of our heads, we actually did a pretty dang good job. We were like almost dead on with all of the metrics, which was kind of cool.
Good.
But so, it just gives a way to like, it'll make that easier so that this goal setting thing becomes easier every year. Right. And then just makes it easier to get, to collect the data and just keep getting better.
Yeah. And the nice thing about that too is there's so much thinking involved in what we do. There's so much thinking involved in what we do. When you do the analysis like we did in the last episode or whatever recently, and then you take that and you write all your shit out and you look ahead, like you've actually taken probably 2/3 of the thinking and planning out of the equation. Cause we're going to think, we're going to plan no matter what. So then you're freeing your mind up to think less about shit that takes up your mind or took up your mind last year. That's already thought through now and you wrote it down. And so then when we move into the next thing, like you'll be able to devote that whatever amount of mental space you have that's cleared now to the next, to an area of improvement, something new that you want to bring to the mat to do what you said a minute ago about like your goal for, call comfort on the mat, comp mat or whatever, for exactly how you said it, but you know what I'm saying? This is valuable for our listeners. It's valuable for you. It's valuable for me. That it's like you just did some homework. You just did a little bit of homework. You spent some time on it because it matters. And going into 2026 with a plan that's already done, yeah, man, you've given yourself more capacity to do other things better now.
Well, and it's kind of like what you were talking about with, increasing professionalism, right? Like if I take this and look at it more, if I'm looking at this from the aspect of like, this is my job, this is a career, right? Like most people don't just show up to work and
they shouldn't
figure out what they're going to do that day, right? Like you usually have like some amount of, like obviously stuff comes up, but like for the most part, like even part of when I was building this and I was thinking about, like I literally used to have one of these for my job as a brewer. Like I had the entire year mapped out at least up to 3 months in advance. Like I had general ideas of what the rest of it was. I could fill in like these things absolutely happen at roughly this time. And obviously you fill things in, like there's stuff that, there's things that will ebb and flow and you have to adjust accordingly. But like you have a couple things that there's things that happen at this specific time of year. They have, Pans, Euros, and Brasileiros are all around this 3-month period. Yep. And that, Worlds is this day, like Worlds is already scheduled. So that's easy, but like, roughly when these things are going to be, or at least where one of them is going to be. They flip-flop Pans and Euros last year, right? Like, or this year, whatever, 2025, they flip-flopped them from the year before, but like you roughly know that one of those things is happening at whatever time. So, you're able to build at least a rough schedule at the end of every single year and use that towards, the following year. So, so it just comes out of Fed. And that was just something that, this year I kind of had to take it as it came because it was first year. Also like
came out of the gates hot.
Kind of decided to do it, at the end of the year. So like, there was only so much planning that could occur because it was a little spur of the moment. And, so like I had to just figure out how to make it work I left
in season
September. I basically went full time in September. Right. So like I had to figure out how to make it work in the middle of the season and just get the ball rolling. So, I think part of accomplishing my goal for the year is definitely going to be one. I've got the miles. Like we did the miles last year. We got the work. We're blooded now. We're able to, and now it's just taking that and applying that experience. And it's kind of it, like taking it and actually internalizing it, getting the mentality right and being able to execute. And, we just build the tools around that.
That's what we're all about.
That's what we're all about. Execute.
That's right. No, I'm into it. I already said it. It's planning, thinking. It's the easiest thing you can do to prevent the stuff you did last year that you don't want to do again. And then put yourself in a position to do the new stuff that you want to do more of or better or different, into the calendar and then implement it right away. Like you said, it's execution. Now you're ready to execute.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's kind of interesting. Both of us had for professional, well, they're both whatever, but for our like competition and our, technical goal and our, like we both kind of had a coaching goal and a, competition goal, that both of them are solved by roughly the same thing. Like each of our goals, like you can solve both of them with kind of just doing the same thing, just in different avenues. Which is efficient. But like, it's good. Like, obviously we're like-minded people because we think through this stuff similarly. Like, this is how it's going to end up working out a lot, but like, it's pretty applicable to a lot of different things. Like, usually when you set a resolution, like when you're setting these goals for a year, a lot of the time the answers kind of stack up like they just did for us, right? Like, you have, no matter what, like, what are the cliche ones are like, lose X amount of weight, stop drinking, don't have fast food, like all these things. And then you look at it, it's like, oh, these are all really the same overarching goal, right? Like, how do I just, I mean, like they're all, a lot of the time when people create these resolutions, you end up having one major point that really all of those fall underneath, and you're just figuring out how to do that yourself, right? Like, that you maybe when you didn't analyze it and think about it all last year, when maybe you still wanted those things, but you just never really put pen to paper and thought about like, how do I accomplish losing weight? You might just, I really should lose weight. And then the year comes around and you're like, well, I also want to do these things, or I just want to be healthier. Well, I should do here's things I can do as well. And like, it's just general goal setting, like we've talked about in the past, but, oh no, that was just a thing that popped out just now. I think
it makes sense. Like you said, you're saying there's like an umbrella label that the sub goals kind of fall underneath that. It does make sense.
Yeah. And like, you kind of know about the umbrella label the whole year before, but then when you go to do your resolutions, that's not the one that you're talking about, right? You're talking about all the things that lead to it. Oh no, that was just the thought.
It's an observation.
Like, we were talking about goals that we have for the podcast, right?
That's right.
And like the first thing we talk about is, we'd like to expand the number of people we're reaching. Like that's the major goal. And then we're like, well, here, what things
how
can we
will we do that?
Yeah. And like, so, that's just the thought process. It's how, I don't know, that's the thought process for goal setting resolutions. But like, you kind of let off that way.
It's formulaic in a sense, right? Like it's like anything else. So you have a goal. You're like, all right, this is the goal. All right. Then you're like, what are the actions or things I'm going to do to actually achieve this goal?
Yeah.
Like one goal is like a lot, within, if you have different lanes, we have multiple goals. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like and metrics and data are super helpful. So, with the podcast, luckily for us, that's why like a lot of what we did with the jiu-jitsu thing was trying to like let's actually look at this. I don't think that many people do this. I mean, some people do it, but we're not the only ones who do it. But I don't think enough people like try to find data out of their jiu-jitsu experience, because maybe there isn't some like visually available mechanism. Like Smooth Comp has stuff. You've talked about that BJJ something or other that does stuff that calculates things. But like, okay, like numbers are like, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
that's why I like data. And so anyways, for the podcast, like we have platforms that show us our reach. And so we're like, all right, that's a pretty solid indicator of like how good of a job we're doing. Let's do it better. And so then you're like, okay, like how do we do that? Well, we want to introduce X, Y, and Z different changes into our workflow, because that's now actually how we're going to do it. And then we got to hold ourselves accountable to doing it. Accountability, everyone.
Accountability. And like
a big part of it too, bitch.
A big part of what we looked at too is like what you guys like to listen to, the existing listeners, right? Because obviously we're figuring out who
Coffee Gang?
The Coffee Gang. We're going to come with a good name for you. Right now we're going to call you the Coffee Gang, I guess.
Coffee Gang.
Coffee Gang.
I don't know. I will think of something else.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. We're getting there, guys.
We're going to workshop it.
Name for you. Yeah, like figuring out we've kind of done the R&D phase over this last year and figuring out kind of what you, the listeners, enjoy. Like really, like we can see when you guys, how many, not you specifically.
No,
that'd be cool.
Maybe we can
could
see you specifically.
But we can tell what topics drive more listenership. And, so it gives us an idea of like, okay, well, one, what are we good at talking about? What do people find interesting, or, what are we good at conveying to you, the listener? What piques your interest? And it gives us an idea of like, okay, well, this is the kind of stuff we should be talking about. So, you guys through listening have spoken. And so like we have an idea of what to do next year, and we can kind of curate the entire next year of shows according to what people like. And so, getting in the guests that you guys find interesting, doing topics that,
are
help
useful,
you. Useful, productive, and helpful to the listeners. I mean, that's really what most of this is. Like, obviously we like hanging out and bullshitting to each other, but at the same time,
we can always do that.
Yeah, we
will continue to do that in some capacity.
But we want to make sure that is directed in a way that's productive for you guys, so that you guys are getting something out of this. Because I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like, this is a way for us to express our love for jiu-jitsu and like the things that we're interested in, and we get to nerd out over it. And at the end of the day, someone gets to gain value from that. I mean, that's the goal. And so partially that, also finding ways to engage with you guys. Like we're looking at different things. I know we've touched on it a lot. We've alluded to a potential Patreon. So like that's something, like finding ways to add more value for you guys. So that, get you guys involved. We have the Discord, join it. No, you all aren't, because I know how many of you listen, and I know how many people are in the Discord. And another thing is we're going to try to get better at engaging with you guys, not just ask you to engage with us. We're going to get better at engaging with you guys, through social media, providing more ways for you to consume Fighters Drinking Coffee content, like stuff like that. So we're saying it now so that you guys can hold us to it.
Drink the coffee.
It's, I guess we'll come
up
with
some of that. We'll do some of that.
We'll come with good phrases and names and inside jokes for you guys too, I guess. Like we're just going to try to we're going to increase our professionalism as well.
Right.
We'll get booms that stay up.
We will.
That don't need Cialis.
Yeah. We'll give them Cialis.
And then, we didn't talk about this before, but I think it'd be cool to also start giving you guys some of the original that popped up on my on some of my timelines with some of the original Fighters Drinking Coffee episodes. So we should figure out a way to introduce you guys to
the archived episodes.
The archive. There's some
wild shit.
I don't know if we have as many of the wild ones.
Damn.
We probably do. We'd have to dig through your laptop.
The old Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah, we'll dig through the Fighters Drinking Coffee files.
Yeah, the Fighters Drinking Coffee files. We're gonna release the files.
I've got a couple of them.
We might not release the files. Don't get mad.
I have a couple that would be cool. We just need to talk to the people because it's some of the guests.
Yeah.
So we just I need to go through and like cut out like old ads and shit, but that's not that big a deal. That's pretty easy to do. However, those are some of the best parts. I should actually just go and cut all those and make a file.
We could dude, this is perfect. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like blacked out. We're gonna retract certain things from it.
Oh no, like I should just make an episode. I should cut all of them out and put them into one episode.
Okay.
So you can hear just like we were wild men. All right. If you think we're wild now, you have no fucking clue. We were, I don't know. We was all over the place.
We were having fun, man.
It was a lot of fun. It worked. I don't know.
It worked.
Maybe we'll get inspired by listening to it again, but
I think we should probably take a look at those.
We had to wipe the original one from the internet because it was getting, I had to go and like delete the feed because it was all over. I mean, it was crazy. Like it's on like weird Russian streaming sites.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's so wild.
Cool.
When I was like trying to find all of it, like I had to go and when I was taking the old feeds down and go and find, I don't know, it's everywhere. It's insanity. But luckily the feed's dead. So like you can't, it might pop up, but you can't actually play any of them now.
I challenge you to find the old feed.
But if you can find some of the old feeds,
enjoy.
It's wild. It's a fun time, but I think we should try to bring some of them back. That'll be fun. So you might, on weeks that we're not able to get recordings, I might have one of them.
Hits.
Yeah, I might have some greatest hits. Or at least, oldies.
Yeah.
Like I just, we want to make this fun for you guys, keep it fun for us, and get you guys involved. Don't know what else you got on. Do you have anything else on the podcast?
No, I gotta get the hell out of here.
Good to go. Scott has to get the hell out of
here. I gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I dragged him out to the boonies. So, but yeah,
are those the Blue Ridge Mountains?
Those are a lot of different mountains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you might be seeing.
They look blue.
You might see West Virginia. They are blue.
That's why that's why I called them the Blue Ridge.
And before I sign us off, one fun fact about the Blue Ridge Mountains: it's actually the light hitting the off-gassing of the evergreen trees of the mountains. Oh, so that's why they're blue.
Yeah.
So
of course,
there's your Fire Drinking Coffee fun fact.
I do like that stuff.
But yeah, guys. So that's just a quick little New Year's episode. That's our resolutions, some promises to you guys. Keep us to it. Keep listening. And as always, reviews, commenting apparently is a big one that I learned about.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to the show. That way it immediately just downloads to your listening device, probably your phone. I don't know. Some people might listen on the computer, but that way it's primed and ready for you on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, 5 a.m. when the episodes release. If they aren't coming out, if we don't have an episode, we will tell you guys if something came up, Christmas week, the week of Christmas, we didn't have one. Just it made sense. It was Christmas. You guys didn't want to listen to us anyways. Talk to your families, not us. But I shouldn't ostracize our listenership the first day of the year.
Ostracize away.
But yeah, let's hit those. They just move us up the algorithm. It helps get more people involved. So that helps us with our New Year's resolutions. But it also the more people that are involved in this, the more people that are hearing the show, then we're able to do more things. We're able to engage with more of you, and it gives us a better idea of curating content to more of you. So keep it coming. You guys are doing great. We love you guys.
Stay on the mat.
Stay on the mats. New year, especially those of you who got your blue belts. Keep showing up. Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Like blue belts do. But yeah, guys, that was Fire's Drinking Coffee. Welcome to 2026. This is going to be a big year for all of us, you guys included. So, love you. Bye.
Bye.